25 ways to get a green card. In this video, we will try to get you a green card one way or another. My friend Bijoux Ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. And please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and go ahead and please like, share, and don't forget to comment below. Let's get right into it. Is it even possible to have at least 25 ways to get a green card? We are going to divide those categories into 7 categories. Number 1, green card through family, which we call family-based green card. Green card to employment, sponsor-based employment green card, green card as a refugee or asylee, green card for human trafficking, victims of crime such as human trafficking and other serious crime, green card for victim of abuse, green card as a special immigrant. Probably never heard that before, or you might have. Green card through registry. What is even that means? Okay, let's start with family-based, our common one. We already know that. Family-based green card, basically you just have to have a qualified relative. Either you are a spouse of a U.S. citizen, a child of a U.S. citizen under the age of 21, a parent of a U.S. citizen, a sibling, so basically a brother or sister of a U.S. citizen, and that's apply as well for lawful permanent resident with a different type of requirement. Okay, that's how you get a green card through family base, and basically the person who's petitioning for you is a qualified relative. And we have preferences too. We have immediate relative, which is spouse, parent, or child. And then we have other category, siblings, that takes forever. We know that with F4 it takes really forever, but it is another way to get here. Okay, and then we have K visa, which is a fiance or the fiance of a qualified relative, U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, and then the child of the fiance as well can get it. So those are the category for family-based petitions. Okay, we're not going to go into the details because we have talked a lot about family-based, and if I get a lot of requests for it, we will try to pretty much explain in details family-based, but we've really covered family-based. Okay, let's go with green card through employment, and that comes with a lot of pretty much I'll talk only about 3 preferences. That's when we talk about EB1, EB2, EB3. Okay, immigrant worker, the first preference of immigrant worker is meaning that you have extraordinary ability in science, art, education, business, or athletics. So that's when you apply for as a first preference to get a green card. And you are maybe you are a outstanding professor or researcher, or you are a multinational manager or executive who meets certain criteria. Remember, today I'm not going into the details. I'm just telling you ways that you can get a green card. And then we have the second preference for immigrant worker, meaning that you are a member of a profession that requires an advanced degree or have exceptional ability in science or business and are seeking a national interest waiver. So basically you are going to get here to work, and the work will benefit the U.S. government. Okay, and then we have the third preference, which is immigrant worker. You are an immigrant worker, meaning that you are a skilled worker. Okay, and meaning your job requires a minimum of 2 years training or work experience. A professional job require at least a U.S. Bachelor degree, or a foreign equivalent of a bachelor degree, that we're talking about third preferences. Okay, and then for unskilled worker, meaning that you can perform unskilled labor requiring less than 2 years training or experience. So in the employment-based category, you really have a lot of options. We have EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, EB5. We have a lot of options, and some of them are for investors, okay? But today's video, we're just laying out the foundation first, and then when we come later with other videos, we'll go deeper into employment-based category, because remember, on this channel I have never really talked in deep or in detail about employment based category visas and green card, so I will start talking about those as well. Okay, then we have green card as a special immigrant, that we're still in the employment category, that for religious worker. The first one, religious worker. You have to be a member of a religious denomination. I was going to say domination. Denomination, coming to the US to work for a non-profit religious organization. And then we have special immigrant juvenile. You have to be a juvenile who needs the protection of juvenile court because you have been abused, abandoned, or neglected by a parent. You have to demonstrate that, abused, abandoned, or neglected. And that goes especially with kids that have been brought in the US illegally, and pretty much they have been abandoned, they're on their own here. So if we can demonstrate all that, then you will be categorized as a special immigrant juvenile, and you can apply for a green card as well. And then we have, under the special immigrant category, okay, we still have Afghanistan or Iraq national. If you were an Afghanistan or Iraqi translator or interpreter for the US government, you were Iraqi employee by or for the US government in Iraq on or after March 20 of 2003 for at least 1 year. You were an Afghanistan employee by the International Security Assistance Force, the ISAF. So those are the criteria that you can apply under Afghanistan or Iraq national. So people, if on my channel, you guys from Afghanistan or Iraq, if you meet those criteria, please do not hesitate to email me, okay? Or call my office for consultation so we can figure out whether you are qualified to apply under this criteria, okay? And consultation fees apply as usual. And then we have international broadcaster. So you're coming to work in the US as a member of the media for the US Agency for Global Media. You might be qualified as well. And then we have employee of an international organization or family member or NATO 6 employee or family member. That's for if you are a retired officer or employee of an eligible international organization or NATO, or an eligible family member of such an employee. I got this recently, and you have a lot of criteria. So basically, it's not as simple as it looks. So if you feel like you might be qualified, please do not hesitate to contact my office, okay? Then we have the green card through refugee or asylee status. For asylee status, you must have been granted asylum first. Then you wait for a period of 1 year, then you adjust your status to green card status. Okay, you have to have been granted asylum first. But for refugee, you get here usually with your refugee status already, but still you have to wait for a full year in order for you to adjust status to a green card. Okay. Then we go to green card for human trafficking and crime victims. I talk about this T and U visa. Go ahead, please, and watch my last video. That's when I talk about U and T visa and the differences and how you can actually qualify. And once you get that visa, and then later on, you can adjust your status and get your green card. Okay, and then we have green card for victim of abuse, and that's like VAWA petition. Remember VAWA petition? We have talked about VAWA in details. We have gone over it over and over. Please refer back to my my other previous videos on VAWA. But I'm just gonna tell you who might be eligible. We have the abused spouse of a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. And remember, VAWA applies for women and men, so it doesn't really matter. The abused child, unmarried, under 21 years old, of a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, and there is an exception for the age as well. You might, even if you you didn't apply when you were under 20, you can still apply until prior to turning 25, provided that you give us proof that the delay was caused by the abuser, okay? And then the abused parent of U.S. citizen can also apply for VAWA. That's green card to victims of abuse. And then we have special immigrant. Can you apply for a green card as a special immigrant? Yes, my friends, you can. And let's get right into it. We have special immigrant. We already talked about the special immigrant juvenile. You must have been abused, abandoned, and neglected. You have to be able to prove all that. And then that's for special immigrant juvenile. And then you can adjust as a child under the Cuban Act. Okay, there's an adjustment for Cuban natives as well, but there's certain criteria that you have to pretty much meet. And then child of under the people from Haiti, refugee, you can adjust as well. And there is an Immigrant Fairness Act for the abused spouse or child of a lawful permanent resident who receives his green card based on that Immigrant Fairness Act. So those are special type of immigrants that might be able to adjust under the special immigrant status. Then we have Liberian Refugee Immigration Fairness, LRIF. So I had a Liberian person who wanted a consultation. This can apply to you, my friend. You have to follow up because you never follow up with me as far as applying for your DED, and then as far as actually applying for the green card as well. You need to follow up, and so we can get this thing sorted out. Okay, if you are a Liberian national who have been continuously physically present in the United States since November 2014, or are the spouse, child under age of 21, unmarried son or daughter over the age of 21 of a qualifying Liberian national. So we have to find out whether you're a Liberian, but you have to also be qualified as far as those criteria are concerned. Okay, we have to do that, and you have to really be willing to go through the case assessment and contact my office so we can do that. And then we have the diversity immigrant visa program. That's the best one. Actually, that's how I got here in the US. And this is basically just a lottery program selected based, I don't know, on luck or something. But anyway, once you get that, you can adjust your status as a to get a green card. And this one works too if you already here illegally and you apply for the diversity lottery program and you win, you can still adjust. Remember, but still you have to waive your unlawful presence if you were unlawful, unless you had the asylum case pending. That doesn't matter. But if you just didn't apply for anything, visa lapse, overstayed, whatever, and you have nothing pending with the USCIS, then you have to apply for a waiver in order for you to be able to adjust the status once you win the lottery. And then we have the Cuban Adjustment Act. If you're a native from Cuba or spouse of child of Cuban native or citizen. And then an abuse victim for a Cuban or Cuban citizen. They have, for people from Cuba have a lot of things that they can apply for as a to get a green card. And then we have a dependent status under that's from people from Haiti. I already talked about it. You guys have something that you can go with too as far as adjusting your status, but we have to find out whether you are qualified for it, because it doesn't apply to every people from Haiti. Okay, we have to really do the case assessment to find out. Therefore, consultation fees apply again, because it takes time to really go into those details, because you don't want to apply and lose your money. Remember, with those applications, when it goes there, they're not going to refund you whether they agree or not. So whether they grant you that status or not, your refund is not refundable, non-refundable. So that's why we do case assessment first, to kind of have at least an idea and our chances of success. Okay. So, and then we have the Lautenberg parolee, where parole in the U.S. as a Lautenberg parolee. So those are the people that they can apply as well. Indonesian Chinese parolee, native from Vietnam, Cambodia, who was paroled in the U.S. before October 1997. They can apply for a green card as well. And that's all that goes under special immigrant category. Okay. Then we have American Indian born in Canada. If you're an American Indian but born in Canada, you were born in Canada, possess at least 50% American Indian blood, and maintain your principal residence in the United States. That's the criteria. That's when you can apply. And then the person born in the United States to a foreign diplomat, were born in the United States to a foreign diplomat officer who was stationed in the U.S. when you were born. Okay. And then we have the section 13 for diplomat, were stationed in the United States as foreign diplomat or high-ranking official and are unable to return home. So you're not able to return home, so you can as well adjust your status. Okay. And then we have the last one, green card through registry. Okay. You might be eligible to register for a green card if you have resided continuously in the U.S. since before January 1st, 1972. So those are the 25 ways that you can apply for a green card, my friend. If you go through this video one more time, if you missed anything, please make sure to rewatch this video again. You might get a clue. Maybe something is gonna click, and maybe we can try to find out those in details, those qualifications, so that you can apply for your green card. Okay. So I'm not gonna repeat it because it's a lot. 25 ways, that's a lot. But just make sure you watch this video again, okay? And we're really trying to help out, because we don't know when this Biden bill is going to pass and if it's going to pass. But if there is something that you can do, please go ahead and do it. Bijoux Ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area, and this was U.S. Immigration. Bye-bye.